Yep, here I am back again, doing something interesting and taking you along. It's me, Lila, GMAR Rides. And in this case, I found some footage of the ride that I took to Key West from Tampa. And I only filmed the last little bit of it, where I started hitting the waterways and stuff. Because before that, it was just a bunch of trafficy stuff, and the Everglades were kind of cool. But it was hot and sloggy, and I didn't feel like videoing. So I noticed a long time ago that if I'm cranky and not into it, trying to video anything doesn't work. And in this case, what didn't work was, as you might be able to tell, my audio. All this has on the original is just a whole bunch of helmet noise. I always forget to turn my notifications off on my phone. But anyhow, I've already done a video about the Keys, but I did find some more pictures and I did find this footage, so I thought you might enjoy it. And I also wanted to let you know a few facts. One of them being that the Florida Keys extend the southernmost part of the state by over 200 miles. When I took off that morning, I looked at it and I thought, 7 hours and 30 minutes, which is what Google Maps helpfully told me was going to be my time, roughly, from Tampa to Key West. And the mileage being about 425 miles, which, that's a good day riding for me, no problem. It wound up being about 8 hours. Yeah, roughly 8-9 hours, something like that. Not undoable, but you might want to plan accordingly. But then we know planning is not really my long suit, don't we? You can see Stewie, my little traveling buddy up there, because remember, I was taking him along on this trip because it was an epic journey, and my daughter is a school teacher, and her school, the Panthers, Stewart Middle School, that's their panther, that's their emblem. Stewie came along with me, and I recorded some Facebook stuff on a private chat for the students, and so they could back and forth talk to me about my epic journey. And it was pretty cool. I had a great time. Back to some more quick facts about the Keys. Most of the sand on Key West beaches has been imported. Did you know that? Yeah, I didn't know that either. Key West is the most southernmost city in the continental United States. And they are very proud of that fact, as you can tell, because they have that great big red and black marker thing you can check out. There are 42 bridges that connect to the Florida Keys. 42. There's a lot of artificial reefs created by shipwrecks. I don't know if they did it deliberately or just, I don't know. Hang on, let me check. Okay, hang on. I wanted to get my facts straight. Since 1981, more than 23 of these reefs have been created, providing habitats for ocean creatures. Vessels like the USS Spiegel Grove, a Navy ship. Yeah. Anyway, that's just off of Key Largo. The longest and largest of the Florida Keys is Key Largo. And before European explorers came, the Keys were inhabited by, I'm going to butcher this name, Tequesta and Calusa Native Americans. Did I? Let me know. And I don't know if you have heard about it or not, but I watch a lot of History Channel. So Henry Flagler's Overseas Railway was a frequent subject of shows, and it was completed in the early 20th century, providing a quick and easy way around the 1912-ish time to get back and forth. And apparently it was beautiful. And today, as you're going down the regular bridges, you can still see some of Henry Flagler's Folly, I think is what they called it. But yeah, so you can see some of that going alongside today's modern roadway. The Labor Day hurricane in 1935 that hit the Florida Keys left a significant mark, and the strength of the winds up to 200 miles an hour was one of the things that caused the Overseas Railway, Flagler's Railway, to be damaged beyond repair. But then out of this, the Overseas Highway was born. Isn't this a cute little shopping stop? Well, I made really good use of that little break time. They had ice cream, they had cold drinks, they had cute stuff. And this lobster, check that out. That was so weird. I remembered it, but it was on a different key when I went there. See, this is the route I was talking about earlier. But yeah, so it was on a different route when I went there. I swear, this is a different clip than earlier. I thought it was so funny. I went over these and over these. Yep, different clip. But anyway, like I was saying, I did find a cute little motel in Key West, and that guy was trying to be my roommate. It didn't work, though. I think it's called Seashell Cove, but halfway decent prices for Key West, and friendly people. And I took my little buddy Stewie into the room, and we did our little walk-around tour, which I'm sure was much more significant if you could have heard it. I know. Fascinating videos I put out. But yeah, I think it's like a $130 room. And nice clean bathrooms, room to spread all your garbage out. Yeah. And did you know that Key West has a healthy population of chickens that kind of wander the island? They do. It's kind of funny. That and six-toed cats, that's about what Key West is good for. Anyway, there's a lot of little touristy things down here, and you can stop and wander and check those out. I did look at some of them, but this wasn't my first time to Key West, and so I had a few specific thoughts and things I needed to do in mind. So I went and I looked at those things, and I saw the stuff, and I think at one point I stopped at a Subway and grabbed a sandwich. I know, highly entertaining. I've already done Mallory Square at sunset. I've already done the whole Hemingway House tour, and I recommend those things if you are new to Key West. It's a lot of fun to go hang out with a bunch of drunk people. Well, I always am entertained by that. Yeah, so this was just kind of toddling around Key West, and there was a slight sprinkling of rain that hit just before I got there. So you can see that the streets look a little bit soggy. And, you know, if you haven't had a lot of rain and all of a sudden you do have rain, they were really slippery. And it seems like this is a great moment for my usual commercial. You know, the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell thing. Share with your friends and share with your enemies. I finally hit my 500 subscribers benchmark, but now I want to get my viewing hours up. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this little bit of music that I'm going to pop in here as we toddle around Key West. Boy, it's a good thing I proofread or proof watch these things, because then I wouldn't have noticed that the music segments didn't line up with each other. Anyhow, I was just sitting here listening, and all of a sudden, blank space. Right up, here we go again. See, told you we were going to find a Subway's and grab some lunch, and that's what we did. It was pretty good, but their prices were definitely commensurate with Key West. And look at this, me forgetting to turn the camera off before I go yanking off my helmet. What can you expect from a rookie? Jeez. I know, right? But anyway, yeah. Hopefully I remember to go through and blur that out. And this is just some more wandering around Key West footage. I hope you enjoy this also. Did you know that Key West tried to secede from the United States in 1982? They were having problems with inspection efforts and the Border Patrol trying to get people to stop and, give up the goods at the overseas highway. Tourists were being delayed, and the whole island was suffering a lot from this inconvenience. Tourism is a big part of what they do there, so they decided to do something drastic there on the island, the locals. So they formed something called the Conch Republic. They even have every April the residents and the visitors get together for some festivities, and they honor this proud moment in Key West's history of the Conch Republic Independent Celebration. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? I think they have a president or a mayor or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, and it just looks like a really good time. Makes me always want to go down there in April so I can hang out. But man, I bet prices are really spendy on that particular time frame. Oh, here's something else I didn't know until I started doing this research. I told you I went to Hemingway House, and I did. And Hemingway's original cats, of course, are long gone. And they still have a whole bunch of polydactyl cats around the grounds, which means that they have more than their required number of digits. They have 6 and sometimes even 7 toes. Isn't that weird? And if you go to Hemingway House, stop and check it out and take a look. See if you can find any of them. They're kind of mangy looking, in my opinion. Well, at least they were the last time I saw them. But kind of cool nonetheless. And we did bring some kitty treats and we fed them because, yeah, they're all kind of feral cats. I don't know any more details about that, but I don't know. If you know anything more about that, drop me a comment, okay? I thought that I had redone a clip in this, and this lady is just riding all over town. Because I kept thinking, no, I've seen this lady before. But yeah, the more I thought about it, the more I remembered, yeah, she was all over the town, just like me. June to November, I am told, tend to be the rainiest season in the Keys. So pack an umbrella if you're going during those months. But generally, all you need is, something comfortable to wear and some shorts and some flip-flops. Well, unless you're on a motorcycle. And I mean, I don't judge, but whatever. I'm just saying I have certain things that I wear when I'm riding, and that's my thing. I also did not realize that there's a massive underwater statue of Jesus Christ off the coast of Key Largo. And the scuba diving scene, or any kind of diving around here, is quite the big deal. And you can get certified, you can go out on tour groups, all that kind of stuff. But generally, when I'm out on my bike, I'm mostly focused on hitting the road, so I didn't do any of those attractions this time. I did dip my toe into the water, though, and that was kind of fun. Yeah. And who hasn't heard of key lime pie? I believe that there was a lime plantation on one of the keys, and that was one of their primary sources of revenue. But I don't have it in front of me right now, so I can't tell you exactly which key. Again, if you know, drop it here. And I know, I'm on my phone when I'm riding. Stop already. And here's another fact. Key West is closer to Cuba than Miami. But I think that people know a lot about that because, it gets talked about quite a bit. I also found out that there's a native deer species in Key West, in the Keys. And looking at the picture, he's kind of a cute little guy. But I can't show you that because it's copyrighted. Oh, it's called a key deer, though. Yeah. Anyway, on to some more fun facts. Oh, I totally found the information I wanted to tell you about that big giant metal lobster. She is currently existing on Islamorada. That's funny. I thought she was on a different island. But anyway, she is in Islamorada, Florida at mile 86 on the overseas highway. And she's just outside the Rain Barrel area, which is that group of stores that I was showing you earlier. It's a lot of fun to stop by and check it out. She was originally created in Marathon, And eventually, through stores closing and such, because she was a tourist attraction, she was in storage, and that was sad. So when they moved her up to her current location, she had to be disassembled and put on a big truck, and then reassembled in her current home. So definitely stop by and show Betsy some love. But anyway, we are getting to the last little bit of this video. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and I do hope that this will encourage you to go to Key West yourself, or any of the Keys for that matter. But all that notwithstanding, I had a great time. It was one of the high spots on my over 9,000 mile solo trip. I had a great time. It was like one of the first times that I'd traveled that far away from home on my own. And like I said, I'd been to the Keys before, but not on my own. It was kind of weird. Kind of cool, kind of weird. But yeah, so anyway, if you're enjoying this video, I'm going to ask you to leave me a thumbs up. And maybe if you'd share it, that'd help me get my watch hours up. And I'd really appreciate that. Because now that's the big thing that we're pushing towards. Watch hours. We need to get some watch hours together. So help a girl out, will you? Hit that button. See that little arrow? You can push that little arrow and it will share it. It's on all YouTube videos, people. This is not difficult. I had so much fun looking at everything here in Key West. And you know, one day was not really enough time to look at all of it or take pictures of all of it for you, especially after a full day of riding. Sometimes you just want to crash out. But I didn't, because I did all these things, and it was a blast. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Don't forget I have a Patreon, and if you're interested in funding me in the line of gas money or that sort of thing, you can go to Patreon and do a one-time donation. Or you can just let me know and I will send you a link for my PayPal. Yes, I would do that. Gas is important. Well, gas money, you know, not gas. But anyhow, have a happy day. Look at me all proud of myself. Bye.